reaction to the death of Alexei Navalny?
Well, it's a very, very sad event, of course. Unfortunately, this was not an unexpected event for me. When he returned to Russia after being treated in Germany from the poisoning attempt on his life with the chemical agent nullxnull, it was pretty clear that the Putin regime would not allow him to just continue his work to run political campaigns, and that once he's in jail, he's not going to get out of it alive. So it is just a very sad and horrific confirmation of the path on which the Russian political system is.
And I guess that speaks to the system, but a lot of the people that would come out that we saw on television and they were putting flowers, in memory, and then they're arrested. This isn't unexpected either to you.
Well, actually, that's what, in some ways, no, I expected that. Obviously, you would have, when another big Putin critic, Boris Nemtsov, was gunned down near the Kremlin in December 2015. Also, people came out and they laid flowers. So it's actually an interesting difference, because when Nemtsov was killed, the flowers stayed there on the bridge near the Kremlin. Right now, the regime is much more efficient in wiping out the opposition. You see, whenever people put flowers somewhere, then some police or plainclothes men come and collect them and put them in garbage bags and take them away. Also, if you look at the number of arrests, reportedly over 450 arrests from these protests, sounds like a big number, but compared to a lot of other protests, actually not all that big for Russia.
Do you think that there is sympathy, though, within Russia, or are they getting different information regarding Navalny?
You know what, judging from various media interviews of ordinary Russians that I have scanned, there's a whole range of views. You see mostly younger, more educated Russians being extremely upset and sad, and some determined to fight back, but I would say two-thirds probably being either indifferent, and some even saying, well, he might have been right, but I feel he was against Russia. And I don't care if you're right, but if you're against Russia, you're not a good person. So there is that kind of mood as well out there.
It's so interesting. In the Western perspective, of course, we've seen Alexei Navalny's mother demanding Putin return her son's body, which, as an observer, it's just heartbreaking. Do you think that body will be returned, and why do you think it hasn't been returned?
Well, I think we may never know why it's not going to be returned, but I doubt that it will be returned anytime soon, and the hypothesis that they're keeping it so that traces of any poison disappear is probably a very strong one. It could also be simply a way for the Putin regime to demonstrate that they don't care and they can, dominate, they can do what they want, and they don't even have to respect something as elementary as the wish of the family to bury the body of the child.
As a former Ukrainian journalist and Kremlin correspondent, I want to ask you about Evan Gershkovich. The Russian court has rejected the Wall Street Journal reporter's latest appeal. Is this surprising? What do you make of that situation?
Absolutely not surprising. In fact, a huge surprise would have been if any Russian court of appeals would have ruled against the Kremlin. I can't think of any single instance when the Russian court system went against the wishes of the Kremlin. So it's clear that unfortunately Gershkovich is a pawn in Putin's big confrontation game with us. It's part of his anti-American strategy. It's part of his way to trade Russian spies and killers for innocent Americans who are basically taken hostage and kept there as trading force.
Do you think you'll be there a while?
I think this is tricky because there may be a deal, like during the Cold War, for example, there were quite a few deals when different people were traded across the line, but I wouldn't be surprised if he's still there years from now.
The big news coming out this morning about the White House saying that it's preparing additional major sanctions on Russia in response to Alexei Navalny's death at that penal colony. I'm just wondering if you can talk about what sanctions are already in place, how they're impacting things, and then what you think additional sanctions would look like.
Well, our sanctions, just briefly speaking, have not been particularly strong, even though we promised that Russia would suffer catastrophic sanctions when Putin amassed almost 200,000 troops around Ukraine about to invade. We have stopped buying Russian oil and gas and some precious metals. We sanctioned a lot of individuals. Europe imposed sanctions, but there are still huge areas that have not been affected. Europe, for instance, keeps buying Russian liquefied natural gas, and those sales increase. Russia has also outlets to export its energy to India and China and elsewhere around the world. So the sanctions, as they are, they haven't produced the effect that they were intended for. They have not deterred Russia, and they have not undermined Russian military capability to the extent that it would hamper its advances, such as the ones we discussed earlier today. And when Biden responded to the question about the sanctions, you know that he was a bit perplexed. He said, well, we promised that we would do something about Navalny, but now the situation is different. We already imposed a lot of sanctions. I think if we were bolder and if we took some more serious steps, and I don't think we should do it just because of Navalny, we should do it because of Ukraine and because of geopolitical situation. We should take more serious measures, for example, in blocking completely Russian oil and gas shipments using our naval power superiority.
It'll be interesting to see that package expected to be announced later today. Thank you so much for your expertise. We've been joined on the KCBS Ring Central Newsline by Mikhail Alexei. He is a professor of political science at San Diego State University and a former Ukrainian journalist and Kremlin correspondent. And you can listen to this entire interview and past Ask an Expert on the Odyssey app. Download the app on your smartphone and favorite KCBS radio. The interviews are posted in the on-demand section, or you can use the rewind feature to listen to it back. Stay close. We'll check traffic with Kim in a minute.
Record profits for power companies, record bills for you, Bay Area. The Bay Area already has one of the highest rates in the country while making huge profits. Now they want even more, announcing yet another huge rate increase. Local veteran-owned Sempra Solaris is on a mission to help you achieve energy independence. The best way to do that is with solar plus battery storage. Introducing Tesla Powerwall 3, now in stock. Go solar for less with the battery you want, and best of all, you only need one battery. Let us install your very own power plant on your roof. Need a new roof? We can install that too. It gets better. We'll take care of your electric bills for 3 months, plus 0 down, 0 interest, and get your 30% federal tax credit. Or take the no money out of pocket option. Pay nothing at all and drastically lower your electric bills hassle-free. Call Sempra Solaris now, 415-367-0747. Or visit semprasolaris.com. On approved credit, up to $500 reimbursement or discounted from sales price, 30% federal tax credit based on eligibility. Consult your tax advisor. New customers only. Summer terms apply. See website for details. semprasolaris.com. Offer expires 2/29/24. CSW number 978-152.
Here's a check of Bay Area roads. Here's Kim from your local Honda dealer shopping center. Well, we finally have a clear scene. San Lorenzo side, there was a crash that took a while. There were people injured in this crash. South 880 to south of Highway 238. All lanes are now back in play, Marty. And this report brought to you by Trex at Big Creek Lumber. What we still have is a little bit of slow traffic here through the scene, but not anywhere near what we were seeing earlier in the commute. But South 880, sluggish from 238 down to about A Street, Hayward. We're looking at the Bay Bridge. That's thinned out quite nicely at the toll plaza. We're just backed up from the 880 overcrossing. A little bit of slow traffic going into the tunnel. But word of warning, if you're coming into the financial district, there is a protest and it's blocking up lanes at some key intersections like Post and Kearney. I'm taking a look at the traffic flow, which is almost nothing coming down Montgomery Street like you're pointed toward Market, right? So from Sacramento Street, we're looking at some gridlock coming across, say, Bush Street as well as Sutter and Post, of course. So this is an area to avoid or put off that trip if you can. 3rd Street's a mess too if you're looking at south of Market. There's just not a great way to cross Market Street right now. In the meantime, we're looking at Marin County traffic. That's flowing a lot better. I'm just now getting word of an accident. Let's take a look at Alamo. Southbound 680 at Livorno, and it looks like a little bit of sluggish traffic. They pulled over to the center divide, so not too bad here. Build your dream outdoor living space with Trex today. Visit BigCreekLumber.com or download Big Creek's new mobile app. Your next update is at 9:48 on the traffic leader, KCBS. Thank you, Jim. More unsettled weather on tap, some sun, some rain, the potential for some heavy downpours. Flooding potential does remain elevated today. Expect some ponding water on the roadways. Forecasted highs for today. San Jose, you're looking at 63 degrees, 59 degrees in San Francisco. Forecasted high of 60 degrees in Oakland. Traffic and weather together on the 8th on All News 106.9 and AM 740 KCBS.
Hi, I'm Brian Bakhtiar, Executive Manager of Stevens Creek Subaru. With all of our recent storms, it's a reminder of the power and unpredictability of Mother Nature. At Stevens Creek Subaru, we understand the importance of all-wheel drive, whether it's getting you to the slopes, the surf, or your daily commute. The most important thing is getting you home safely. And there's no better place to buy than Stevens Creek Subaru. With good prices, great selection, and truly exceptional service, and the Wilderness Cafe with our Subaristas, it's just another reason why Stevens Creek Subaru is the Bay Area's preferred destination for all things Subaru.
This month, lease a new 24 Outback Touring for just $388 per month on approved credit from Stevens Creek Subaru in San Jose. 36-month lease, no security deposit needed. $27.95 drive-off plus tax and license fees. 15 cents per mile in excess of 10,000 miles per year. MSRP $42,783. VIN number R3142842. Expires end of this month.
We're located on Stevens Creek Boulevard, just off of Winchester, or online at StevensCreekSubaru.com. And remember to buckle up and drive safely.
Blues legend Bonnie Raitt will be performing live at the Fox Theater in Oakland on back-to-back nights, September 26th and 27th. Get your tickets today at Ticketmaster.com. And for your chance to win your way in, visit our contest page at KCBSRadio.com.
Tune in to 95.7 The Game for Warriors Live. 60 minutes before tip-off every Warriors game throughout the season as we get you ready for the action. Presented by Xfinity. At home or on the go, you'll get the fastest internet to all your devices.
Sponsored by the Walk Shop in Berkeley, the Bay Area's favorite walking shoe store, inviting you to put a spring in your step. A public library in Antioch is open again today after being shut down Saturday due to safety concerns. KCBS's Raquel Maria Dillon with more. The Contra Costa County Library System said the Antioch branch would shut its doors because the librarians who work there felt unsafe.